Hey everybody, Meshman here today. I'm going to take you through the process of me making a wreath. I had a customer contact me today. They saw this on my Facebook Live at Meshman for You, number 4 letter U on Facebook. They saw me doing a live of making this. They really liked the way it looked, but they wanted it in a gold and white theme. So I'm going to take you through the process of me creating that, and I will show you guys the finished product. Alright, check you back later. Okay everybody, so what I'm going to start off here with is a 14-inch wreath. It is a wireframe, got it from Dollar Tree. Can't really beat that kind of deal. By the time I'm finished with the poofs and everything, it should roughly come out to about 20 inches. Kind of crazy when you think about it, but it's also awesome. So yeah, as you're watching me do this, I'm using pipe cleaners. Got the, I can't even think of the word, but they're sparkly. They're not like your regular ones because I'm using a shinier material. I'm going for this gold look. I did the same with the silver wreath, and that's why I chose these pipe cleaners. So I'm going around the intersections, and I'm also at the bottom 2 loops, or bottom 2 rings. I'm also going in the middle of each intersection. At the top, I'm only doing the intersections, but at the bottom, I'm intersecting between the 2 intersections. So what's it going to end up giving me? The numbers for the pipe cleaners, it's going to be 12 around the bottom and 6 at the top, for a total of 18 pipe cleaners in all. 12 at the bottom, 6 at the top. So as I go around, since I have the intersection as a way of bracing the pipe cleaners, I'm not really worried about that. But when I go into the middle, what I do is on the bottom loop, I go once around with the pipe cleaner to help secure it, and then I'll bring it back to the top, and then I'll tighten it, and I will twist it once, maybe twice if I want to be extra secure. But when you bring it together to tighten it, just put a little muscle behind it, and that should do that. Okay, so yeah, going to be fast forwarding a little bit, skipping around the process a little bit, so you guys won't be around here for too much longer, And even as I'm saying this, I realize I'm going to have to cut this video some. The already cutting that I did prior to this. But anyway, so moving on, at this part, we're going to start with the mesh. I'm going to start at the top, go once around, and then go down, and then go around the bottom once. Depending on the type of material you have, as far as the mesh, if it's premium mesh, which is regular mesh, you may want to go around twice, but this is a simpler wreath. Not only that, but with everything I'm going to put on it, it's still going to come out, I believe, pretty good. So we're going to go around once around the top, make our way down to the bottom, go around once, and because this is going to be a gold and white themed wreath, what I decided to do was go in between the top and the bottom with a white mesh. That's going to help give that separation, and it's going to help with the white and gold theme. That way it's not all gold in one area, and then I'm going to try to make it as even as possible. But of course the gold is what we want to stand out the most, but we just want to bring it back a little bit with white. Alright, so yes, and some crafts people or wreathers, however you say it, when they do this, what they do is, some of them anyway, when they come back around, or if they're going to add decorations into their wreaths, they open the loops back up, they open up the pipe cleaners, and then they tie them back down. As of right now, I don't do that. I just retie it as I go. I don't untie it and then tie it again. I just tie on top of it. So that's what we're doing here, and yeah, I think it's coming out pretty good so far. And alright, so moving on. So now at this part, what I'm going to do, I'm getting a ribbon ready. I'm going to be using this pattern because it does have some white in it, and I'm using a ribbon. You know, I'm still pretty new at this, so I'm not exactly sure what this is called, but basically it's a area that I use to help cut my ribbon. I tie my ribbon around it. Each side is going to be a ribbon, so when you go around it, you know, one side is one, you come around the other side, that's two, and so on and so forth. Get as many as I need, and I'm going to use these for the middle, so I'm going to, which, you know, only have 6 at the top / middle, so I'm going to go around 6 times. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to bring them out, cut them in half, and yeah, that should be exactly what I need. And then when I cut them in half, the next part is going to be creating a ducktail, or dovetails, not ducktails. I've been told I can call them both. It's my world, right? Alright, so once I cut the ribbon the way I want it, I'm going to fold them in half and cut my dovetails so I can get that nice finished look. Do that for each one. I like to stack them and cut them all together at once. Saves time. Okay. So next, which, yeah, I apologize for the camera angle. This is my first time recording in multiple angles with this phone and then trying to edit it, you know, together. And since I already made the wreath and everything, you know, by the time I'm doing this, it's not like I can go back and re-record it. But this is a learning lesson for next time. So again, apologize for the weird angles and close-ups, just reteach myself everything. But yeah, so I'm putting all the ribbon in at this point. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I got a gold ribbon going around it, the wreath around the outside, basically close to the white mesh. And then I do that, and then I'm going to come in with the white and gold ribbon that I cut, and then I'll do that to fill in the inside. Again, I'm going off of the one that I made for the silver. I'll show you guys at the end a comparison, just see how it came out, you know, how close I hit the mark. Okay, so now I have ornaments that I'm going to put on here, these gold ball ornaments, all gold but different textures. We got glitter, we got smooth, and we got like a matted look. I'm putting those on. Should look pretty good. I'm liking the way everything's coming out. And let's see. Okay. Yep. Oh, so when I put the, like I said, I don't untie and then retie. I just tie on top. But for the ornaments, when I put those in, I use the pipe cleaners as an anchor. Now, depending on what you want to do or what you plan on using these for, you're going to want to use those as an anchor, but you also want to glue down your ornaments to keep them in place. For this one, I'm not doing that because these are relatively small ornaments, and the pipe cleaners are longer, so I'm just going to use the pipe cleaners as the anchor. Again, if I had bigger ornaments or a more, what do you call it, a more complicated designs on here where I was afraid like they might get knocked off or handled roughly or anything like that with something else that's on here, like a sign or a big bow or something like that, yeah, I'd probably glue everything down to keep it in place. But for something like this, they're pretty small in size, and the pipe cleaners I feel are long and secure enough to keep them on there. Plus, if the customer bought these, wants to use those for anything else, they can easily, you know, get the pipe cleaners off or undone and get these off of those instead of have to worry about glue and all that. Okay. So now I'm going to, so yeah, this is pretty much we're finishing up here, so I'm going to cut back to the end result. Hope you guys like what you see, and thanks for following me through this tutorial. And again, I will improve on these camera angles, because yeah, it can really mess with your eyes. So yeah, again, I apologize about that, but yeah, let's go to the finished product. Everybody, so that was the process of making a gold and white wreath, and this is the finished product. I do like the way it came out, and just to give you guys another reference, again, this is what it was based off of, just a gold version of it, gold and white version of it. So yeah, thank you for joining me in that tutorial. Again, you can find me on Facebook at Meshman4, letter U, number 4, or on Instagram. You can also follow me on Instagram at Meshman4U. That's Meshman, number 4, letter U on Instagram. So like, share, let other people know about this, and let's grow together, and let's do this again. This is the Meshman saying, have a good one.